Hello and welcome back to Panama City Real Estate News, your source for information on the single-family house market in Bay County, Florida. My name is Chan Lipscomb. I've been a real estate investor here in Bay County since 1989, and this is my way of sharing the information that I see on our local market with you, the general public. We're doing the market update for December of 2012. Today is January 9th, 2013. So we've got our numbers in from last month, and we quite honestly had a spectacular month in December. A broker had told me about mid-month that he had more houses under contract to sell in December than he had had in ages. And I was a little skeptical of that. Well, it turns out he was right. In December of last year, we had 161 houses sell, single-family houses. Now, this past year, in all of 2012, we had 3 months where our house sales number was over 160. But going back into history, we have to go all the way back to 2007 to find another month where we sold more than 160 houses. So to have 3 months over 160 is just fabulous news for a market that's really been struggling for quite some time. Now we're going to see in just a minute that there is a flip side to that. Even though our number of sales was very good, these houses are selling at significantly reduced prices. Here's what I mean by that. Our median sales price, our dollar per square foot price, in other words, how many dollars per heated and cool square footage of the house, was 91. Now we've been moving from, over all of 2012, we've been going from the high 80s to the high 90s on that number. So it's just moved in that $10 range. Back in 07, the number was $140 per square foot. So you see our dollar per square foot number has really tumbled since that point, almost by a third. Our median house price was $148,900. Again, that's kind of in the range we've been seeing recently. But again, we go back to 07 where we matched ourselves in sales numbers. The median house price back then was $226,000. So down to $148,900. Big difference in dollar per square foot, big difference in median sales price. What does that tell us? Houses are selling, but they're selling at dramatically reduced prices from the peak of 04, 05, 06, 07. That's great news for buyers. Interest rates are dirt cheap right now. Our inventory is contracting though, and that's going to put some upward pressure on prices. So if you're thinking about buying a house, this truly is probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the way the numbers are stacking up right now. Currently, we have 1,260 houses on the market. I just mentioned inventory. With our rate of sales, this is a 7.82 month inventory. I've talked over and over again about how a healthy market, supposedly, is 6 months worth of inventory. This is the closest I have seen us to that 6-month number in I don't know how long. We've had 24, 25, 26 months worth of inventory in the last couple of years. To see our inventory this low is, again, a very encouraging sign for a market that really has needed some encouragement. Back in December, remember we had 161 houses sell. We had 167 houses go under contract to sell. In other words, they were for sale. Somebody wrote a contract, put the house under contract, they're working towards a closing now. That's a great number. That's even more than sold. This, again, is very unusual, but it perhaps is a precursor to a very good January. We might see another very strong month in January. We only had 160 new houses come on the market in December. That's compared to the 161 sold, so we've got a balance there. That's a good number. We had 135 houses expire. In other words, they were listed for sale, they didn't sell, the listing ran out. That happens a lot in December. A lot of listings end at the end of the calendar year, so our expired number is normally a little larger. I would expect that a lot of those some of those people are just going to give up and they're not going to relist their house. But a lot of them will come back on the market, probably at a lower price. Unfortunately, I don't have my foreclosure data in yet. That report hasn't been produced yet, so I can't really talk about what we had in foreclosures in December. Looking at the calendar, we've got a fairly busy calendar in January looking at the foreclosure sales that are scheduled. February looks a little light though, so we may see a little bit of a slowdown in foreclosure activity. I do expect that to come back up. As I've been talking about recently, there has been a lot of new foreclosure cases filed. I expect a lot of those are going to go ahead and go all the way to sale and come back on the market as distressed properties. So again, great December last month, potentially a good January. I'm still always concerned about the foreclosure market. Don't have numbers on that, but we'll be updating that in next month's update. And always as a reminder, if you are trying to sell a house, if you've got a house that's hard to sell, needs some work, has some other sorts of issues, call me. I do buy houses, pretty or ugly. I often close in 5 days or less. Been doing this for a long time here in Panama City. Would be happy to chat with you about your situation. No obligation, no pressure. Just call me if I can help you. Again, my name is Chan Lipscomb. This is Panama City Real Estate News. Thanks again for watching. See you next month. Bye-bye.